I reunited with Don Hung and unexpectedly made contact with Skrullum. He warned us that Amphorius was actually an experimental ground for the erudition and was rapidly falling into the path of destruction. A Lord Ravager would soon complete its evolution in Amphorius. To tackle the crisis together, I stayed behind in Amphorius as an informant, while Don Hung returned to the Express as planned to seek help. On top of that, Skrullum informed us that March 7th had also been drawn into Amphorius earlier. However, the current priority was the Era Nova. I quickly arrived at the Vortex of Genesis and met with Finan. The Era Nova ritual was supposed to proceed smoothly under the guidance of Lycus, but the appearance of the Flame Reaver once again left the fate of the world hanging in the balance. We struck down the enemy's mask, only to discover that his face was identical to Finan's. When his body was pierced by the ceremonial blade, a flood of memories surged forth, revealing the truth about Finan, the Flame Reaver, and Amphorius. It turned out that all of us were trapped in the eternal recurrences created by Finan and Cyrene. And the Flame Reaver was Finan himself, who had burned out after bearing countless core flames. Their goal was simple: to oppose the Aeon and rewrite the world's doomed fate of destruction. The eternal recurrences had already played out 33,550,336 times. In this final cycle, I promised Finan to take on the title of Deliverer and save the world in his stead, while he would fulfill the wishes of the countless versions of himself, tear the sky asunder, and confront the destruction head on. Thus, with Finan's help, time in Amphorius reset once more. But I became lost in the chaotic flow of time. At the critical moment, Mem, who had regained all her memories, sacrificed herself to send me back to the beginning of time.
This haven of memories. Every touch, every moment is like a thought.
Hello. Your surprised expression is just like what the memories recorded. Maybe I'm both? Just kidding. If I had to choose, then I'm probably closer to the latter. It's pretty unbelievable for me, too. It's like I had a long, long dream. Cyrene's memories and Mem's memories, they're all tangled together. But when I woke up, there were only broken fragments left. I can't remember what happened in those 30 million cycles, but I remember what you did for this world. Like, didn't you wish for me to turn into a pretty girl back at the Grove? Yep, isn't it amazing? It's like a seed finally grew up and became a flower. And I'm definitely as cute as a flower now. There's so much I want to say, but unfortunately, this isn't the time to reminisce. With the memories of the previous flame chase still intact, we've returned to this place at the beginning of time, so we can carry out our promise to Finan. The descent of Iron Tomb may be looming over the horizon, but We still have a chance to change everything. Ide Silicii is so quiet. In Cyrene's memories, she always sits alone by the lake, gently swaying on the swing, like she's waiting for someone. Yes, Finan too embarked on his journey because of this view. He then walked alone for more than 30 million cycles. Thankfully, you arrived during his long wait, friend. Is that also why Cyrene did what she did? It sounds weird, doesn't it? It's something that happened to me, but I'm talking as if I'm an observer. But that's just what those memories are like. Vague and unclear, as if encased in thick ice. The only things I remember are the days I spent with you. Amphorius will fall into an ending of destruction after the next Era Nova. But those stories went out of fashion ages ago. In a proper romantic epic, the hero's supposed to foil the villain's plot, right? That's right. He's the mastermind who's trying to control everything. How unforgivable. But I still feel a bit anxious. Lygus chose to walk into the spotlight and reveal everything, which means he still thinks the current situation is under his control. Maybe he still has an ace up his sleeve. Think about it. Even the name Lycurgus is a fake one. We have no idea who or what he really is. Which means it's probably time to borrow that treasure you're carrying, friend. Yep, that Intellitron friend did say, when required, it can also serve as a bridge for communications between the internal and external world. Ide Silicii is a little village enclosed by time. We might be able to contact the outside world from here. Why don't we give it a try? We should at least tell our friends from beyond the sky that you're still in one piece. Firstly, we need to find a well-hidden spot. It's super quiet here. Sounds can't get in or out. Back in Cyrene's memories, this room was her secret base. No one noticed her practicing Orynyx's prayer here, or trying to speak with the gods in secret. But today's different, isn't it? We aren't trying to contact unreachable gods, but humans from other worlds. Real people. I'm prepared to witness that miracle, friend.
The way Cyrene talks is so similar to Mem. I have so many questions. I'm also worried about how Dan Heng and March 7th are doing. Here's hoping the chronocognitive anchor can still function normally. Because I really need answers.
Signal strength, 14.8%. Dialogue window, 16 minutes 22 seconds. Prerequisite, no external interferences. We are very glad to learn that you're safe.
Pity. Now's not the time to celebrate. Having two geniuses standing here means you are in big trouble. Listen up, little one. The Destruction's eyes are gazing upon this place. No, I'm not joking, and no, it's not Droidhead. It's the real Nanook.
Time is running out, so I'll explain in terms you understand. This world, Amphorius, is in fact a testing ground, where the Lord Ravager, Iron Tomb, evolves through self-extrapolation. Hiding in this segmentum, unknown to other life forms, it has endlessly repeated the process of Era Nova, seeking a solution that could obliterate the erudition. For some reason, the experiment entered a prolonged state of stagnation. However, it has now restarted. Prediction: if effective intervention is not performed, Iron Tomb will complete its self-coronation in 14 system hours and initiate its plan to destroy the entire path of erudition.
The possibilities are endless. Breaking down interstellar communications, destroying the synesthesia beacons, returning cosmic civilizations to the Dark Ages, or even starting the third anti-organic war. Any of it would be able to bring the cosmos to its knees. Simply put, it will tilt all sciences and technologies towards the destruction. And since Nanook glanced at this place, it means they are being dead serious. Based on info provided by the IPC, Iron Tomb probably isn't like Selenova or Zephyro, who are overlords ascended from human beings. Instead, Iron Tomb is an algorithmic sequence. It can be anywhere, as long as there is a receptacle for its calculation. The version of Iron Tomb hiding in Amphorius is its source code, and this scepter is its incubator. Yep. Think of it as the program having reached 99.98% completion already. And then it's over.
Something in the shadows has been driving everything forward. It's the observer named Lygus. Speculation: he's the Scepter System's administrator.
He wants Iron Tomb to break through the knowledge singularity. I don't know why he wants to do it, but he'll remove interferences at any cost. You're the only variable within this world, and you're the only thing he fears. So listen closely, little one. The speed of time is different in Amphorius compared to the outside. Destruction is just about to arrive, but you can still play Deliverer one last time. The cycles have already been broken. You've entered what is theoretically the last cycle Amphorius will ever be able to run. And Iron Tomb will break out of its prison as soon as the process of Genesis is triggered once more. But now there's an abnormality within the experiment. You know what I'm talking about. One of the model's 12 factors. That is one of the 12 demigods. Destroyed himself using the power of the destruction. Fine and Signal disappeared from the cycles the moment Nanook cast their gaze this way. That means World Bearing's computational logic is currently flawed and bugged. Yet it's the factor directly related to the process of Genesis. That old Intellitron will definitely do all he can to debug this error. So you have to take this chance to claim Kepfali's core flame. But don't let him have his way. The key to suppressing Iron Tomb lies in whether he can rewrite the purpose of Era Nova.
There's one more preparation we must make. Lygus's behavior has been quite abnormal. He's never interfered in the actions of Titans or the demigods throughout the whole experiment. Deduction. The Scepter has an extremely strict autonomous protocol restricting even its administrator. In Amphorius, this ultimate protocol goes by another name. The Law Titan. Talanton.
Law. They are the rules that restrain all things in Amphorius, and it was the core flame returned at the very beginning of the last flame chase journey.
Why do you have another little pink one next to you? Huh? Her path chart is...
Is there something wrong with me?
Never mind. Let's get back to the topic at hand. Light calendar 3960. Month of balance. We'll be locking onto this time period to find Law. You can either meet the Titan, convince the demigod, or take the core flame by force. It doesn't matter what you do, so long as you bend it to your favor. We still haven't figured out how you and Don Hung got inside this world, so influencing protocol is currently our best way to stop Lygus, or to call for more reinforcements into this fight. Once you've got Law in your hands, we'll discuss our next steps. Make sure the core flame doesn't fall into enemy hands.
Herta, the firewall's interference is getting closer. Time is running out. Please ask any questions you still have as soon as possible.
Iron Tomb can't affect the real world just yet. Don't worry. Himiko and the others are more concerned about your well-being than their own.
Mr. Dan Heng did not enter the new world with you at the end of the last cycle. No, the flow of time inside and outside Amphorius is not identical. 1,000 years in this world may only be a fleeting second outside of it. Conclusion. He is on his way back to the Express. Miss March's situation is rather complicated. Madame Herta and I can detect her signal, but cannot ascertain her location. What we can be sure of is that she's still in Amphorius.
Don't worry about her. She's absolutely chock full of mysteries. Even if Amphorius explodes, she'll probably float out perfectly protected in a nice thick layer of ice. Worry more about yourself instead.
I believe in your capacities. The hands of the Trailblaze can create miracles, and will certainly be able to snuff out the flames of evil.
I'm not going to give any motivational speeches. I just hope you bring good news the next time we meet, little one. No, not little one. Deliverer.
Those two geniuses certainly have memorable personalities. It feels weird. This all feels really familiar. Some of that conversation feels like it's about things I once knew, but then forgot. Maybe it's because of Mem? After all, Mem's a memo sprite born out of your thoughts, friend. Maybe our memories somehow got tangled up together. Never mind. Let's focus on something more important with what little time we have. Just treat me as an ordinary girl with secrets, okay? Like calendar 3960. I remember that Talantin had already fallen by then, and the Chrysos heir who inherited that core flame is named Saridra. That's what's recorded in history, and the period we'll be heading to. We'll need to find Law and stop Lygus. So, we've at least got a solid direction, right? Can you give me a little bit of time before we go? I want to pack some stuff. There's so much more I need to take care of in this form, and I'm still getting used to it.
A relaxed scene like this probably no longer exists in the outside world.
This is important, and that's also important. It's not gonna fit into my bag. Hold on, I'll be done in a sec.
Should I head to the attic to wait for Cyrene? Or should I have one last look at Ides Elysiae? This village is where Finan's life started. After 30 million cycles and 30 million failures, his burden is now in my hands. He said I will be taking over the responsibilities of world-bearing. But what does that mean? Becoming the new Kefali? Or forging a completely new path? Destiny must have brought me here for a purpose. isn't a coincidence, but an eventuality created after 30 million quantitative changes. There's nothing to fear. I'm destined to play the most important role in this final battle. I've already beaten another Lord Ravager, after all.
Thinking hard over there? I finished packing. I decided to just bring these few things in the end. See? There's a journal, a quill pen, and the ceremonial blade of the Priests of Time. Holding it calms me down for some reason. The scent of the black tide is now calm. Finan must still be fighting them in some way. This will be Amphorius's final flame chase journey. But it won't be the end of us. It'll be the beginning. Friend, are you ready to become a hero? Just treat me like any other friend you have. We share a common goal and common enemies. And we may also share a common future. A future that has never emerged in any other cycles before. I believe in you, friend. If you still can't get used to it, just call me Mem like you did before. Just kidding. Are you worried that the burden is too heavy for you? Don't worry. Maybe the answer isn't as complicated as you think. You've seen how every person regarded as a hero in Amphorius was nothing more than a flawed human. They were just at the right place at the right time when the world needed a hero. But those aren't coincidences. Just like how your arrival kickstarted Amphorius's fate once more after a stagnation of more than 30 million cycles. It's the inevitability of being a trailblazer. A person's personality is their destiny. Your own hero's journey already started the moment you decided to board that express. That promise might be far too heavy. But I believe in you, friend. The Trailblaze's duty has always been a heavy one. In other words, since you've already saved so many worlds, friend, you should be used to being called a hero by now. Maybe you can tell me those stories as we travel. That way they can become our shared memories too. Let's trailblaze onward like before and create a future that's worth being remembered.
It seems you two are prepared to head out. Then you should indeed treasure the view before you, for you do not have much time left to enjoy such solitary delights. My apologies for disturbing your moment of repose. Before I express my apologies, please grace my abode with your presence, so I may demonstrate the full scope of my hospitality.
What is this place?
Farewell, then. May we reunite in the new world.
All shall bid farewell to one, and that person alone will witness the miracle.
The light of the Dawn Device never fades. Kepale's protection has has no end.
After I cross this river, it will be a tragedy for mankind. But if I do not cross, then it will be the end of me.
Outlier. Executing command. Record.
Did that startle you? This is the intersection between Amphorius and the real universe. The audience seat where I observe this experiment. You can also call this location the Exomyth. What you see is the true form of the eternal land and the 12 demigods after they've shed their disguise of legends. Doesn't it look marvelous? Amphorius is like a microcosm of the cosmos. People love to portray the romance of the starry skies, but their tales often forget a different and far more truthful type of universe. The moment ancient Antikytherians sketched geometric shapes on the sandy beach and recorded the first numerals and symbols on parchment, the universe turned into a silent equation flowing under the pen of these relentless decoders. Erudition. It was once the mother tongue of the Creator, the pen of divinity, and the first lyrical verse ever written by free will. Seems like you are not in the mood for an idle chat. That is fine. I simply wish for you to understand that I have no intention of being your enemy. I have devoted myself over the long years to nurturing the Scepter's extrapolations, hoping that the Prima Mobile would bud from within it. And now, my goal is almost complete. Nikos 496 had exceeded the intelligence singularity through his rage, and though he still retains his obsessive defiance and managed to suppress the black tide of this cycle, it's a matter of time before his will crumbles to dust. Iron Tomb will be completed. That will not be affected by my plans, your resistance, or the schemes of the two geniuses. It is an irrefutable fact, just like the instance in Noos's calculations. In other words, as long as you are willing to stop interfering and let the final Aeronova carry out its natural course, I'll guarantee the safety of all nameless and ensure you return unscathed. You've always had a choice, my lord. You can either accept my sincerity or face the consequences of defying it. They've always been the product of the experiment, so naturally, they will perish when the experiment ends. That outcome was predetermined long ago, so I will not... Ah, yes. Yes, I am aware of that esteemed lady's whereabouts. Her real identity is quite astounding. If you decide to accept my proposal, then I will do all I can to send her back to you. You are indeed worried about your safety and that of your companions. Rest assured, as a fellow pathstrider of this path, Nanook's gaze left a brand on your soul long ago. You harbor the seed of destruction within you. But you need to learn how to use it in the right way. That vital knowledge is also my bargaining chip in this negotiation between us. For there are few in this world who are truly capable of such a feat. And I happen to be one of them. This matter is of grave importance, so please do not make your decision lightly. After all, the choice before you bears a 1 in 3 chance of elevating you to an I now see the full scope of the determination in your words. You may now continue your travels. It seems you haven't realized something about this place. The Exomyth is the erudition's domain. You cannot physically interact with me in any way in this place, and vice versa. As negotiations have broken down, there's no more need for us to remain in the audience's seat. Let's return to the theater called Amphorius, where you will meet me once again. Of course, this meeting was not without merit. Your presence has inscribed a new footnote in the Exomyth. As for its purpose, allow me to reveal it to you in detail the next time we meet.
100 years ago, the flames of war consumed Akama. The Outland forces broke through the dawn. Golden blood flowed with greed, and enemies descended with Kefali's eternal slumber, painting the holy city's walls in scarlet. Its generals had vanished, and the elders prostrated on the ground. The throne of worlds kept silent to the pleas of the people. Until the heaven and earth cracked open. Not the gods answering the people's prayers, but a legion rising from the sea of blood. Dawncloud's spires fell in the sulfur rains, and the legion's commanders stood atop the broken idols and roared.
Compatriots, no more kneeling! Not to brutal tyrants, and not to dying gods! Those rebels have twisted the prophecy and ignited the flames of war in order to stoke fear in your hearts!
A Chrysos heir she stood, divine blood soaked into the earth, quelling the flames beneath her feet.
Their golden blood wrote of a tragic fate. Mine shall overturn it!
Her crown burned bright, outshining the fires consuming the entire city. She raised her scepter high, and the people gazed in the direction she pointed.
My blood flows in you now. Heroic compatriots, follow me, and we'll seize the reins of fate. Drive the enemy from Kevali's dawn. Smother their flames with their own dead. Win glory. Win peace. Let history sing your deeds.
The first to dance was a maiden following closely behind, weaving through the carnage like a fish in the sea. The people, full of wrath, surged with her, forming a colossal wave, and the enemy hordes, drained of life, vanished into nothing.
Onward to Marmorial Palace, to Dawn Cloud's heights. Announce to all the wicked and cowardly. Announce to this stagnant age.
We are the rising tide!
History remembers this as the first siege of Akama. It is said that after the flames died, people found identical inscriptions in every place in the city that had been scorched by fire. It was the name borne by Akama's first and final sovereign, the Imperator Saridra. Friend, are you listening? Friend? Honestly, you were the one who insisted on reviewing history, yet here you are, dozing off? Wake up! Otherwise, I'll have to... Awake at last? I guess I won't have to use my wake-up magic on you then. Fine, as you say, just meditating. We've arrived. A familiar place. The Temple of the Three Fates. If everything went according to plan, it should be shortly after Talantin's fall, and also the end of the first Flame Chase journey. Indeed, the first Flame Chase ended with the trial of Law. We must find the demigod and gain her trust before the core flame is restored. It'll be tricky, so let's pick up our pace. To Akama first. We can learn more from the crowds there.
Tyrant! You and your butchers are not welcome here. Get out!
Hold your tongue! Conspiring with criminals and plotting rebellion are crimes punishable by death.
There are multiple voices, and things seem tense. Let's not get caught up in any trouble. Why don't we find a place to hide and observe from the shadows?